even though the Texas State Pro did not contain a lot of big names within that show, that is including the Classic Physique division, I found something quite interesting. And that is the comparison between the top two at that show for the Classic Physique division. On your left, you have the winner of that show, Mehdi Larijani, or how I believe Persians would pronounce it, Mehdi Larijani. Maybe, maybe not, but that is just my idea of how a Persian would pronounce that name. And on the right, you have the guy who placed second, surprisingly enough, at least according to me. Dancovea Anderson. His first name is quite unique, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But I'm trying, guys, so give me a freaking break, will ya? Now, right off the bat, we can see that Mr. Dancovea, he is significantly shorter than Mehdi, but at the same time, in my opinion, his muscle bellies and his flow, his symmetry, as well as his structure is much, much better. But let us find out why Mr. Mehdi edged out Dancovea, starting off with the front double biceps. And right off the bat, I also want to show you guys that I did not size these guys wrong. Dancovea, he is indeed quite short. I don't know their height. Perhaps Mehdi is quite tall, but more than likely, Dancovea is just really short, and Mehdi is sort of normal height, I guess you could say, at least for the Classic Physique division. But let's get to some better quality pictures. Now, right off the bat, I have no idea who tells Dancovea to pose like that when it comes to the front double biceps. He has some really weird posing choices. When it comes to his torso and his legs, the way he's holding that, I feel like it's absolutely flawless, perfect, beautiful. But his arms, I would bring his hands, I guess, closer to his head so that you can see more of a peak. But even so, guys, it's hard to deny that freaking amazing structure. I get it, guys. Bigger is better when all things are equal in bodybuilding, but come on, guys, all things are not equal. The waistline difference here is absolutely incredible. And also, I feel like Mr. Mehdi has some slight asymmetry. If you look at his left to his right side upstairs, I don't feel like they are 100% symmetrical, and we'll also see that from the back. It might be just the way that he poses, but that's part of the game, guys. That is part of the game. So easily I'd give this one to Dancovea. If we move on to the side chest shot, unfortunately, I could not find a good quality picture of Dancovea hitting the side chest shot for some reason. But, in this picture from the side, I feel like Mr. Mehdi, he is executing the side chest shot in a much better way for Classic Physique, at least in my opinion. And one other thing that we can see is that he is absolutely cut. This man does not have 1 ounce of fat on his body. But then again, Dancovea, he is pretty shredded as well. And upstairs, when it comes to the arms, delts, and the pecs themselves, I feel like he has an edge there. Downstairs, he has more of that hanging hamstring, and he overall has bigger legs, but that is pretty much, I guess, down to the way he's posing. Their legs are quite similar, I would say, or they are equally good. But overall, even though I prefer Mehdi's execution, I mean, you cannot deny Dancovea's advantage in this pose. His muscle bellies are simply better in my opinion. He has more of that bubbly 3D effect look, at least upstairs. So I'd give him a slight edge, but Mehdi, without a doubt, hits a great side chest shot as well. Moving on to the back double biceps, and there we go again with that weird execution. I have no idea who taught Dancovea to pose like that in the double biceps shots, both the front and the back, but he does it, so I guess we have to go by that for this judging. Now, when it comes to Mehdi, I try to find a better picture of him hitting the back double biceps because his left and right side, they are quite asymmetrical, and most of that I think is down to posing. Maybe he has some actual asymmetry there, I don't know, but I feel like a lot of it is down to posing. When it comes to the downstairs area, I feel like Mr. Mehdi, he might be just a tad bit more shredded than Dancovea, but he's not that far off. And overall, Mr. Dancovea, he has better legs, So I would still say that Dancovea has an edge downstairs. Now upstairs, obviously, Mehdi, he sort of shows more detail and muscle separation. But then again, guys, how can we freaking ignore that asymmetry? And when it comes to the arms as well, Dancovea has an advantage there. So I don't know, guys. This one, it is sort of close, but I'll still say that Dancovea decisively gets an edge. Now moving on to the final shot, the ab and thigh. And guys, oh my gooeyes. That man over there, Mr. Dancovea, he hits one of the best ab and thigh shots that I've ever seen. His structure is absolutely amazing. Everything from the way that his arms look huge upstairs, his lats look good, his abs are absolutely perfect, and his thighs, they are not the best out there, but they are more than decent. Meanwhile, Mr. Mehdi, he has that ab split. He does not have the best structure. He sort of looks a bit squarish, at least by classic physique standards. Obviously, it is not the worst ab and thigh out there, but come on, guys, that is not the best ab and thigh for classic physique, and Dancovea absolutely smokes him in this pose, despite giving up that much size. But I also wanted to include the vacuum version. Unfortunately, or at least I, could not find a good quality photo of Dancovea hitting a vacuum ab and thigh shot. But still, guys, you can clearly see that Dancovea, just by the outline and the structure alone, he absolutely smokes Mehdi in this shot. Finally, we get to the classical pose, and for some reason, the side triceps, it is not included as a mandatory shot in classic physique. So a lot of people, including Dancovea, hits a side triceps version as their classical pose. And Mr. Mehdi, he hits that sort of one-hand bicep shot. I don't know what to call that. And it looks fairly good, but still, guys, I would say that Dancovea, he looks better in this shot. But judging classical poses, it is sort of weird because they are, of course, different poses. So it's hard to say who has a better pose unless they hit the same classical pose. So either way, guys, who do I feel would win this comparison? Well, in my opinion, I am just as confused as I was when I first had a look at these two lads because, in my opinion, this man easily takes this comparison. Now I get that Mehdi was absolutely shredded, and he was perhaps a bit more shredded than Dancovea, but come on, guys, Dancovea, he was also pretty freaking shredded. I mean, go back and look at his glutes and hamstrings. And also, I get that Mr. Mehdi is a head taller than Mr. Dancovea, but still, guys, Terence Ruffin beats guys over 6 foot quite consistently. So I have no idea, guys. The judges in classic physique keep on confusing me. Maybe some of you can enlighten me in the comment sections below. Anyway, that was it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you, ladies and gentlemen. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you wish to request a comparison, feel free to do so in the comment section below. That's it, guys. I'll see you later.